It is Sunday, July 20th at about 6:30 p.m. West Coast time. Thursday or Friday, we got the Wall Street Journal story about the Bondi birthday card, birthday note, birthday whatever, that was allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003 from Donald Trump. Donald Trump was concerned enough about that story that he called Rupert Murdoch directly before that story was published and tried to have it killed. And he was unsuccessful in that endeavor. Today, Sunday, July 20th, there is a new story on the New York Times titled "An Accuser's Story Suggests How Trump Might Appear in the Epstein Files." And this is about a victim, a survivor of Jeffrey Epstein, a young woman named Maria Farmer. In the summer of 1996 and in 2006, she went to law enforcement to complain about Jeffrey Epstein and mentioned Donald Trump's name. And a few other things for context. And I said this in an earlier video. I hate that these fucking people are making me think like a conspiracy theorist. But they are. Two other pieces of information. One, a week ago, JD Vance went to Montana to meet with Rupert Murdoch and his son Lachlan. Rupert Murdoch's son Lachlan controls Fox News. Rupert Murdoch controls the Wall Street Journal that ran the story about the birthday note or whatever. And now the New York Times is running this story 2 days after that. And JD Vance met with Rupert Murdoch a few days ago in Montana, private meeting. I forgot what the second thing was. Hang on. The second thing I was going to mention, this young woman, Maria Farmer, is interviewed in the Netflix documentary Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. I highly, highly, highly recommend that everyone watch that documentary. Watching that documentary now in the context of everything that's happening now will blow your fucking mind. And not really in a good way, but it's necessary. I think it's necessary to watch that. One of the things that I appreciate the most about that documentary is it focuses heavily on the victims, on the young women who survived Jeffrey Epstein. You get to see them. You get to hear their voices. You get to hear them tell their stories in their own words. And that is something that I think is really missing from what's going on now. And I can't fathom being one of these young women. And now it's like, this fucking guy has been dead for 6 years and he's still dominating every single fucking news cycle. Can I get a break? I can't even imagine what this current news environment is like for them. Every fucking time they turn on the TV, every time they open up their phone, it's Trump and Epstein and Trump and Epstein and Trump and Epstein. And now Donald Trump is ordering Pam Bondi to release all of the grand jury testimony from the investigation by the DOJ into Jeffrey Epstein in 2018 and 2019. Does that include testimony from victims? Is this Justice Department under Donald Trump and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel going to protect the names, identities, confidentiality of sexual assault victims? not if doing so would hurt Donald Trump. These people are absolutely horrific. They're absolutely horrific and disgusting. And here's I said something earlier that I hate that these people have turned me into a conspiracy theorist. I think that the people in this country who have real money and real power are done with Donald Trump's bullshit. I think they want him out of the Oval Office. I think they want JD Vance in the Oval Office because I think that they think JD Vance will bring stability back to this country, the financial markets. JD Vance won't have all of this tariff bullshit going on. JD Vance doesn't give a shit about tariffs. He cares about women who are able to get pregnant, but yet who are not pregnant. He will let the money class, the real power in this country, do the things that they want to do to the rest of us as though we have been roofied at a frat party. I think that the people in this country who actually hold power are done with Donald Trump. And I think that they are going to use the Jeffrey Epstein story to 25th Amendment him. His cabinet can vote to remove him from office. And he stocked his cabinet with millionaires and billionaires. His policies are affecting their personal interests. I think that the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times and the people who actually have power in this country are going to keep putting out these stories about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein in order to paint and portray Donald Trump as guilty of being a pedophile, of being a Jeffrey Epstein pedophile, so that his base will not come to his defense. They are going to make it impossible for his base to come to his defense because they are going to paint him as a Jeffrey Epstein pedophile. They are going to, I believe, very shortly make defending Donald Trump synonymous with defending Jeffrey Epstein. They are going to synthesize Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. They are going to merge those two people into one singular figure. So if you defend one, you defend the other. And nobody wants to defend Jeffrey Epstein. And that's how they're going to get him out of office so that we can all fucking be done with him, because he's affecting their bottom lines. And that's all they care about. He's affecting their bottom lines and how much they can take from us. And JD Vance won't stand in the way of that. And JD Vance has no connections to Jeffrey Epstein. I think the people in this country who have real, actual power are going to use Trump's connections to Jeffrey Epstein to get him out of office. And I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later.